Did you know that 40% of Americans have less than $10,000 saved for retirement? That's a scary statistic. But even if you're behind on savings, there's still hope. I'm going to share 17 mistakes you need to avoid to make the most of your retirement years. First up, continuing pre-retirement spending habits. This is a huge one. When you're working, it's easy to justify that daily latte or those impulse buys. But in retirement, every dollar counts. I had a client who kept up her shopping height after retiring, and within a year, she was dipping into her savings way too fast. Remember, your income might be fixed now, so your spending needs to adjust accordingly. Speaking of spending, our second mistake is failing to set spending boundaries. This ties in closely with the first one. Without clear limits, it's easy to overspend. Think about it. You've got all this free time now, and it's tempting to fill it with activities that cost money. But that can lead to trouble fast. One tip I love is the envelope system. It's simple. You put cash in envelopes for different categories, like groceries or entertainment. When the envelope's empty, that's it for the month. It's a great way to visually see where your money's going. Now, mistake number 3 is a big one. Making large purchases right after retiring. I get it, you've worked hard, and now you want to treat yourself. Maybe it's a new car or that dream vacation. But hold yourself. Give yourself some time to adjust to your new financial reality first. I always tell my clients to wait at least 6 months before making any big purchases. You need to see how your new budget works in real life. Fourth on our list is neglecting to budget. This is crucial. Without a budget, you're flying blind. And let me tell you, I've seen it go wrong too many times. One approach that works well for many retirees is the 50-30-20 rule. That's 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or paying off debt. It's simple but effective. Mistake number 5 is claiming Social Security too early. I know it's tempting to start collecting as soon as you're eligible, but hold on. For every year you delay, up to age 70, your benefits increase. That can make a big difference over time. Of course, everyone's situation is different, so it's worth talking to a financial advisor about the best time for you to claim. Sixth mistake is carrying debt into retirement. This is a heavy burden that can really weigh you down. Whether it's credit card debt, a mortgage, or even student loans, yes, some retirees still have those. Debt can eat up your fixed income fast. Before you retire, make it a priority to pay off as much debt as possible. Number 7 on our list is lacking a clear retirement plan. You might think, I've saved money, isn't that enough? Well, not quite. A retirement plan is like a roadmap for your golden years. It's not just about money, it's about how you want to live. Do you want to travel? Start a new hobby? Spend more time with family? Your plan should cover all of this. I remember talking to a client, let's call her Mary. She had a good amount saved, but no real idea of what she wanted her retirement to look like. 6 months in, she felt lost and unfulfilled. We sat down and created a plan that included volunteering, taking art classes, and visiting her grandkids more often. Moving on to number 8, underestimating medical insurance costs. This is a biggie. Medicare is great, but it doesn't cover everything. Many retirees are shocked when they realize how much they need to budget for healthcare. Did you know that the average 65-year-old couple today might need about $300,000 saved just for healthcare costs in retirement? That's a lot of money. Mistake number 9 is spending too much too soon. I call this the retirement honeymoon phase. You're excited, you've got all this free time, and you want to do everything at once. But remember, your retirement savings need to last for decades. Pace yourself. One tip I give my clients is to try living on their projected retirement budget for a few months before actually retiring. It's a great reality check. Number 10 is getting scammed. Sadly, retirees are often targets for fraudsters. Be aware of any investment that promises unusually high returns with little or no risk. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Always do your research and don't be afraid to ask for a second opinion. Mistake number 11 is quitting work too soon. I know, you've been dreaming of the day you can say goodbye to your job, but working even a year or two longer can make a big difference in your retirement savings. Plus, many people find that they miss the structure and social interaction that work provides. Consider easing into retirement with part-time work or consulting. Number 12 is ignoring inflation. This is a silent retirement killer. What costs $100 today might cost $180 in 20 years, assuming a 3% annual inflation rate. That means the purchasing power of your savings decreases over time. It's crucial to factor this into your retirement planning. Let me share a quick story about inflation. My aunt retired in the early 90s with what she thought was a comfortable nest egg, but she didn't account for rising costs, especially in healthcare. By the time I started helping her with her finances in the 2010s, she was struggling to make ends meet. It was a tough lesson for our whole family. Let's start with number 13. Not downsizing. I know, the family home holds so many memories. But here's the thing, that big house you needed when the kids were growing up. It might be costing you more than you realize now. I'm talking about higher utility bills, property taxes, and maintenance costs. Plus, all that extra space can be a real burden as you age. I had a client, let's call her Jane, who was adamant about keeping her 4-bedroom house after retirement. 2 years in, she realized she was spending a big chunk of her savings just on upkeep. We sat down, crunched the numbers, and found that downsizing could free up a significant amount of money for her to enjoy life more. She ended up moving to a lovely 2-bedroom condo and hasn't looked back since. Now, onto mistake number 14. Neglecting to adjust your investment strategies. This is a biggie. The aggressive investment approach that worked great in your 40s and 50s. It might be too risky now that you're in or nearing retirement. As one expert puts it, as you get older, you want a less aggressive approach and you want less risk. It's all about finding the right balance between growth and security. Mistake number 15 is overlooking tax implications. Taxes don't stop just because you've stopped working. In fact, they can take a bigger bite out of your retirement income than you might expect. Many retirees forget that withdrawing from their 401 can bump them into a higher tax bracket. This can lead to a nasty surprise come tax season. It's crucial to understand how different sources of retirement income are taxed and plan accordingly. Number 16 on our list is underestimating longevity. Here's a fun fact. If you make it to 65, there's a good chance you'll live well into your 80s or even 90s. That's great news. But it also means your retirement savings need to last longer than you might have thought. I've seen too many people plan for 20 years of retirement, only to find themselves struggling financially in their later years. Mistake number 17 is having a negative mindset about retirement. Now, this might not seem like a financial mistake, but trust me, it can have a big impact on your wallet and your well-being. Retirement isn't the end of the road, it's the beginning of a new chapter. If you approach it with dread or see it as a time of decline, you're more likely to make poor financial decisions and miss out on opportunities. All right, it's time to reveal my biggest retirement regret. I put off planning for far too long, thinking I could worry about it later. That delay cost me valuable time and options. Don't make the same mistake. Here's the most important thing. It's never too late to make positive changes. Start with just one area today. Maybe it's creating a budget or reviewing your investments. Small steps add up to big results over time. I'd love to hear about your own retirement experiences or concerns. Share in the comments below. Your insights could really help others in our community. Thanks for watching.